So this was the data scientist. So when we are talking about the data scientist, also even it is required. It is required in the case of this data scientist also, SQL also. See what happens. Before that, you all should be knowing what is SQL. I'll consider, because we have some first year students also. They'll not be knowing about SQL here. So what happens with the SQL? SQL is a language. In according to that language, we are storing at the database. Now you consider the data. In that data, what we are doing, we are saving record of, it can be employee, it can be student, it can be any deal or something. So we are storing that data in a structured format. The structured format is SQL, structured query language. And when you are storing that data, it is some kind of a tabular storage. But query language is that when you're fetching that data, you're fetching it with a query. You're writing something. I'll take a very short example. I'll open my notepad. First, I'll explain the SQL. In SQL, what we are having, we have the data. Now you consider. See, now what I'm talking about SQL here, SQL is, I'll write here, structured query language. So what will happen that, see why we are giving emphasis on this tool or this thing. This is very much important. If in my, if I talk about my personal opinion, students, so SQL is very important. Whether you are targeting for a role of data scientist or whether you are targeting of a role of data analyst, this is a primary thing you need to learn about the database. See, in all this term, whether we are talking about analyst or whether we are talking about the scientist term, the ultimate deal is with the data. So you're dealing with the data, and how this data is stored. This is stored in the form of SQL, that is structured query language. So if I talk about the data that is in the internet world, 90% of the data is associated in the structured format. If we are having some kind of a website, if we are having some kind of a forms, everything is in a structured format, and that structure is followed by which language? Structured query language. Now you just consider a case. I have a record of a student in saved in SQL. So I have a record for a student. What can be there? It can be name here, it can be roll number here, it can be email ID, it can be marks, it can be percentage. So that kind of information is stored in a table. So that table is a student. Now with this structured query language, what you can do, what I'll write a simple query. I'll write a select. What I want to see now, I want to see only the marks of the student. Only the marks of the student. So what I can write, select marks from table is student name. So I'll just write this only a single line query. Even if I have record of some 10 millions records I am having, even that is okay with SQL. What it will do, for all those 10 million students, this command will be showing me marks. So this is the power of structured query language. And when we talk about SQL, as I said, 90% or most of the data you can talk about, that is saved in structured query language. And when you have the job of data analyst or you have the job of the data scientist, you are responsible to work on the data. But if you're not aware about SQL, how you will deal with the data? Because data isn't stored in the SQL, is that in that format, how you'll extract the information? You'll not able to extract the information because it is already stored in the SQL. And it is so powerful thing. Even I'll tell you, like I have a name, and what I want to do, I want to search the name, like which starts with R and which ends with maybe S. Even that kind of cases can be performed by this SQL thing. I have that option, that query thing in my part, and that is not available to do a normal searching or something. So all that kind of pattern matching we can do with SQL. What we can do, we can find out the missing information. How we can do? We can just look for a command where we will look for the blank columns. So this all can be done by the SQL. So this is the power of a SQL. That is why it is required to learn SQL. But when Utsav has mentioned that most of the profile in the data scientist, SQL is not required. Why it is not required? Because data scientists, they have the people under them, those who are working as analysts. So analyst is responsible for doing all all playing with the data. So that is why data scientists having a team of data analysts, and that analyst is responsible for providing that information, that cleaned data, to data scientist. And data scientist is basically responsible for doing that modeling part, that analyzing part, that analysis part on the data. But data analyst is responsible to dig out the information, to clean the data, to get the exact information, to work on the outliers, to work on the missing information. Everything is the job profile of data analyst. Data analyst, so what we have in the job role of data analyst, analysts bridge the gap between the data scientist and the business analyst, organizing and analyzing data to answer the questions that organization process. So everything is a job profile of a data analyst. So if I'll say the soldiers at the border, so data analyst is that soldier. They take the technical analysis and turn them into the qualitative action items. Skills needed: statistical and mathematical skills, programming skills like SAS, R, Python, plus experience in data wrangling and data visualization. Data wrangling is data cleaning. And when we talk about the data visualization, when you have the end results with you should be aware about some tools like Power BI, Tableau. In that you can do the visualization. So this is the job profile of data analyst. Then we have one more profile, data engineer. Data warehouse is responsible how you are managing, Anshi, how you're managing the data here. Like if you're talking about a small organization, there where it will not affect anything. But if you're working in a large organization, that time data warehouse comes into a picture. So where whatever you're storing that information, you are putting it somewhere here. So that time when we are working on the big data, that times this data warehouse comes into the picture. Okay, for data engineer job role, data engineers focus on developing, deploying, managing, and optimizing the organization's data infrastructure and data pipelines. So data engineer, it's actually, if it's coincidence, like if you're working on the data warehouse thing, data engineer is responsible to manage everything, like on how we are developing, deploying and managing the data, optimizing the organization data infrastructure, data pipelines. This all work is responsible by the data engineer. So if I can say like we have an admin here, so that admin is data engineer who is having all the rights to see the data, to doing or providing the permissions. Everything is done by the data engineer. Engineers support data scientists by helping to transfer and transform data for queries. So I can say that they actually work on the SQL. These data engineers also. See, in I'll say in my company, or my, suppose I'm working as a manager. I have 10 employees, or 10, I have 10 team members. My work is to supervise their job, but I can supervise their job only when, if I am able to do that job. It's not like that if I have an MBA and I have gone, they appointed me as a manager, but I am not aware about the processes, how I can correct my team, how I can teach them what is the right way to do that. So it's not like that. you were a data scientist and you should not be knowing about the logics of the things. At least you should be, at least, or more importantly, you should be aware about the logics. Only then you can do the right work. Aishwarya will come to this. Companies, I'll come to this. Even if I forget this, please remind me, Aishwarya. Okay. No engineers support data scientists by helping to transfer and transport data for queries. And skills needed. What are the skills that is required for being a data engineer? That is NoSQL database, MongoDB, Cassandra DB, programming languages such as Java, Scala, frameworks like Hadoop. So there are many tools available. So it's not like that you need to learn everything. I have mentioned many languages, many platforms. It's not like that you need to learn everything. Some companies, they look for a particular thing, like they are looking for a Python developer, or somebody they are looking for art developer, or some other companies they look for a person who can work on any platform, but that person should be able to provide the solution. This we covered in this way, the job role for the data scientist, data analyst, and data engineer. So it can happen like initially you can target a job profile of a data analyst. Slowly and gradually you learn the machine learning models, deep learning models, and then you can look for the job of data scientist. Even some people I know, they initially work as a data engineer and they directly jump to data science by learning the skills. So why become a data scientist? Let's talk about the money first. By 2026, demand for data scientists will have increased by 28%. This is a survey recently done by US. In the best jobs in America for 2021, the position for data scientists came in second. In America, the average base salary for data scientists is USD 1 to 7,500. It's a huge amount. So this is the reason for having good money as a data scientist. And now let's talk about other benefits of being data scientist. See, data science is that domain. It's not, it's not about a single. It's a interrelating the things. Data science is used in all fields. Data science makes use of artificial intelligence in its operation, interested, and the future of it is going to be in a data science. So right now we are working on data science. If I'll say, like, I'll see many or the big organization, they are using data science to, to do their work and do perform their execution, to work on their business ideas, everything they're doing with the data science. But in the future, maybe next 5 years, all the processes and decisions will be based on the data only, and that decisions will be taken from the data science. And it is not about it's not about doing it like it's not about doing it like you can do it any way or something. You can be specific about any particular field. You can work in any field, like you are a healthcare industry, you can work in a financial industry, you can work with a bank, you can work with Facebook, you can work with Google, you can work with Infosys, or you can work with any manufacturing firm like Honda, you can work with any aviation industry. So these all fields are related to data science. It's not about doing only engineering. And plus you can work on the, you are part of a decision making team. So you, in that company, you are the data scientist. All the decisions of the business is responsible, is dependent on your views, on your things. So you have that power of doing business. So that acumen, business acumen, is slowly and gradually, by that experience, you can make it sharp. So this all can be done by the data scientist. And once you're into the business, you love to play with the data, and from that data you can find out there are much many more things that you can perform with that data. And these tools, when you are working on that, you will actually play with those tools. So that's why it is very interesting job profile. You'll work with the data. Sometimes your prediction models will work, sometimes it will not. So you have a goal in a day, and every day you can get a new job, you can get a new problem to work on. It's not repeating your same job. You are working on a live thing, you're working on a live data set, and where you are proving your skills there. So this all magic you can do with the data. So this is the main advantage of being a data scientist, of course, and the salaries are high. In a Spider-Man movie, there is a saying, you might have heard that, like, if you have the power, you'll have the more responsibility also. So they are paying you more because you have the responsibility. Power is like data scientist is having all the power to doing the business, and then how accordingly you are paid. That is why you are having powers and you are being data scientist. Now, basic skills to be data scientist. I'll come to the skills once again, then I'll come to the basic skills. So we learn about this machine learning. So prerequisite for the data science is like being a data scientist. I'll start with the database. In database, you should be knowing about SQL or NoSQL. When we're talking about programming, you can cover R, Python. When you are talking about statistics, there are some few topics like mathematical basics that you need to learn for the stats. Modeling, we have different tools, like in Python, we have libraries. Even in the other languages, we have some libraries where we can perform the modeling. Modeling, you can choose, like it's a graphical user interface, you need to choose like which algorithm you want to apply. You want to apply classification, you want to apply a regression. But how you'll know that? This is only when you're aware about the machine learning concepts. This is the all prerequisite of being a data science, being in the data sciences. Yes. Yes, so with great power comes great responsibility. Pradeep, it's not like you need to learn all this skill if you're targeting the data scientist profile. Like initially, what you can target, it's like, first, I'll suggest you is the exact way is to go. Even I'll write in the chat box also. First, you will learn maths. I'll wait just a second. I should choose it. Everyone. Yeah. First, you should go with mathematics. First, you learn mathematics. In mathematics, there are a few topics that is required to learn the machine learning models. Once you have covered mathematics, then you come to database. In database, you can choose SQL. You can choose like MySQL. Yes, it is fine. Yes, Oracle is also fine. You can choose MySQL. You can choose Oracle, or you can choose any other database. Once you are done with the database, then you come to programming language. In programming language, what you can learn? In programming language, you can learn Python, you can learn R, or you can go for any other language. And right now in market, Python is in highly demand. And then once you're done with the Python, then you come to machine learning basics. It's basics of machine learning models. Then you learn modeling tools. In for modeling tools, how you can implement that modeling tools? This is again with Python. So this can be a easiest way to be a data scientist, but I'll suggest you learn maths first and then you go with the things. Then in that way, you can easily grab up all the models, and once you start doing the working on the live projects, you'll be getting more experience. You'll be working on that data. So when you're working with the data now, only then you can work, you can have more experience. You'll sharpen your skills on the data. Okay, so now I'll come to the basic skills. This was the technical skills that is required to be a data scientist. But before that, you should have basic skills to be a data scientist. What are those skills? Suman, basic skills is for machine learning is like, what are the modeling, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, even like how many techniques we have, machine learning algorithms like clustering, regression technique. These all are the basics of the machine learning. Pradeep, if you find out, I don't know how you're good at like everyone is having their learning pace. Somebody is comfortable with books, somebody is comfortable with videos. So if you're comfortable with the videos, like we have some foreign university, they have a free channel at the YouTube where you can go for the mathematics. You just write down the mathematics that is required, or you can cover the statistics, and they have explained it in very good manner. You can just list out the topics, and for each topic you can go through the YouTube videos. That will be very good rather than going through a books, and later on you can go with the books when you want to do more understanding. Okay, basic skills to be a data scientist. You should be a mathematical expertise. Now expertise is written here, it is not like that you should be pro in mathematics, you should be in PhD in mathematics. So the terms or the skills that is required for a machine learning concept, you should be aware about those concepts when you are targeting the job of data scientist. A strong business acumen. A business acumen cannot be built, it should be, it should come from inside, as in, if you're talking about business, you should be aware about the business processes, because all your models, when you're identifying the patterns and everything, will be according to your skills, your acumen, like how clearly or how strongly you are understanding the business. Like if you're working for a healthcare industry, you have a project of a data science of healthcare industry, and whatever analysis or whatever solutions you are coming up with, that before that you should be knowing about that industry, you should be knowing about the working of that industry. It's not like that you have experience in the finance sector and you are not aware about anything in the healthcare industry, and by using any kind of a model you can form the results. No, you can't do that. Before that you need to understand that a business, only then you can come up with a solution. Technology skills that we already covered. Project management is an project management comprise of, like, you're working as a data scientist and you have a team of data engineer, you have a team of a data analyst, or maybe some other programmers, other people are associated with you, and that client is asking question to only to you, not he is not talking to your team members. So you are the person who is responsible to communicate with the client, who is responsible to communicate with the manager. So in that case you should be able to do all the management for your project. You should be aware when is the deadline of the project, how many days you have, how many months you have to complete that target, and how many members you require in your team, how you want those people to work, which work should be assigned to that particular person. So all that kind of a management you should be knowing. So these are the basic skills apart from technical learning and everything. So in layman terms we can say that basic skills that is required for a data scientist is mathematically expertise for the required topics only, a strong business acumen, technical skills, and then project management. Now some are the use cases we are discussing here, data science use cases. So you can understand here, first use cases is pandemic fighting. So in fighting with the COVID, how data science came into a picture, I'll just give a few examples. Like, all the prediction happened, you remember that news channel days when this COVID was at the peak. So they have a predicted thing, like in next 15 days these many cases will come. in next 1 month these cases will come. So how this analysis or prediction was doing? It was done by the data science only. We identify this health organization, they identify they might be required this kind of a medicine, they might be required these much beds. They were preparing the railway hospital, they were doing they were converting colleges into hospitals. All what was happening with the predictive analysis. This was the case of the pandemic fighting. Next case is driverless vehicle. This Tesla is coming up with the cars without human, this automatically operatable cars. How it is coming? So they have the data, like if a person is coming, what a normal user will do. So that kind of information is stored here, and it is putting into the machine, and accordingly it is doing the predictive analysis. That solution is formed into the machine, that is machine is the vehicle. So in case of a driverless vehicle, data science is playing a very, very critical role, because if it is not performed well, it can take life of the humans, it can take life of the animals, or it can be a loss, a vehicle loss. So how this prediction is performing? It is performing by the data science. Law enforcement. I studied a case study in the Belgium. What police is doing? They are using data science to to predict the cases, or to predict the places where they need to have a strong to they need to increase their manpower. They are doing that data, they are doing that prediction with using data and analysis, and they are using they want to stop crimes, and for that stopping crimes they are using this data science. This is law enforcement. Next, one more use cases. We have n number of example like recommendation engine for Netflix, Amazon Prime, e-commerce. These all are the use cases of data science. Data science career outlook, if I say, so average salary according to Glassdoor, it is doing it worldwide. I'm not talking about India. And throughout world, data analysts average salary is the average salary is written here. Data scientist, senior data scientist, and data engineer is written here. So it is according to the survey done. So you're all aware about this, that we have the high salary here. Okay, so how these machine learning algorithms work, just understand this. We have the data here. I'll increase the size also, just a second. Okay, we have the data here. Data is provided, collected data. Now you have cleaned the data. Data has been cleaned. Structured data you have. After that, you have identified which machine learning model you want to implement. Okay, identification is done. Now what you will do, you will provide, you have the data, model you already identify, machine learning model you already identify. Now you will test that model. Before going or before doing any kind of a prediction, what you will do, you'll go for testing. And before that testing, we need the training of that model. Training, how training will be provided? Suppose I have some results. I have a result like if X is increased by something, the result by B will be decrease in Y. This is my data. From that data, I have the data, I have the clean data. From that clean data, I can have this information like if I'm increasing X, my Y will be decreased. Okay. This is the solution that I already know. This I already know. I am aware about this. Now I have already my model with me. So what I'll do, I'll have a set of the information. From that set, I'll train the model. I'll train the model. With this training, I'll tell that model, like, if I'm increasing X, Y will be decrease. So this is my training part. I'll repeat again. I have the data. I'll clean the data. Model will be identified. Machine learning model is identify which you want to use. Once that identification is done, there is a concept of, or there is a requirement of training the model. So you have some input that you are aware about, that is associated to your business. Then what you will do, you will pass this value to train the model. Once that training is done, then you will come to the testing. In that testing again, now here what you provided question also and answer also when you are training the model. Now, when you are testing the model, in case of the testing the model, you will provide only question. It means you are providing the value only to X. Now, your machine learning model should come up with the value of the Y automatically, because you have already trained the model. So, once the training is done by question and answer, next in the testing phase, what you will do, you will give a question and you will expect the answer. And in that testing phase, you already have the answer for that, like you already aware that when X is increasing, Y will be decreased. So you will test the model with the aware thing, which you were already aware. It means you are testing that model. When that testing is successful, that time you will implement the model to do the future prediction. This is the case of machine learning algorithms. So what you are doing, you have the data, you'll clean the data. After that, you'll identify which machine learning model you will use. Once you're finalized with the modeling thing, then you will train the model with the awareness thing. Training is done, then you will do the testing of the model. If testing is passed with some kind of some good efficiency, then you will implement that model for future prediction. This is the process of machine learning.